All right, all right. So it is Saturday night at 9:31 my time East Coast, which means it's what time in Vegas?
6:35.
Okay. So real quick, I just want to give everybody a little background. I started following, I can't remember if it was you or the Slankamania page, and I believe it was like the end of last year, like November, December time period. And I loved it. I loved the art. I loved the hair. I loved the energy. And I was like, this dude is awesome. Okay. And I got no response. And then months later, I'm talking to Andy, good friend of mine, owner of Sup up in Wisconsin, owns a couple of brands too. And I saw that he posted your products. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. I hit him up. I'm like, dude, does that stuff move for you? And he just says, this guy Slank's the man. Here's a good boom.
He's the man.
The next thing I know, I'm on the phone with you for 3.5 hours straight.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Where did you see the product first? On the internet or somebody's store?
No, I saw it on Instagram. It might have been one of your crazy funny videos that I saw, and I was just like, this guy's such a douche. And I said I have to meet him. I have to know this guy. So when we talked that night, that first time talking, you said so many things that brought me to where we are today. And one of the biggest keys that you said, I want to help people. And I don't hear that very often on the supplement company owner's side. I always hear it from store owners and things like that. And that's why I wanted to pursue this friendship and whatever I can do to help Slankamania and all that stuff. So first interview question. Most people, I don't think many people know that you served in the Air Force. What made you join the military after 9/11? Like at a crazy time, what made you say, I'm going to do it?
So when I was in high school, it was kind of like put in my ear that that's what I should do. So that was my idea of what I wanted to do. After high school, I wanted to use a GI Bill. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to play football at Wilmington College. It was like a town like 20 or 30 minutes from me in my little town of Washington Courthouse, Ohio. I did like a college visit there, but then I knew I had to go to basic training and all that stuff. And I came back and I was like, I don't think I want to pay extra out of pocket to go to school. So I went to a little local school there. I did like one little quarter. They had quarters, didn't have semesters. I did one quarter and I was like, school's not for me. And then I was just trying to figure stuff out. I had a couple jobs. I worked at Home Depot for a week. I worked at Skechers for 2 days. And then I got hired on, I was put on active duty orders. And then I got a full-time technician slot. And then 2 months later, I was deployed. And then I just was full-time since then until 2016. And then I was a traditional guardsman for 2 years. And then I ended up getting out. So I did 11 years in the Air Force at Rickenbacker.
I didn't even know it was 11 years.
Yeah.
So
it's flown by.
Wow. Okay. So what was that deciding factor though, when you said, I want to get out? And where does the fitness side of this, where did that start for you and your
I was pretty thin guy when I played sports, football, basketball, baseball, track, all that jazz. And that summer after I graduated, before I went to basic training, I was on ADHD medication. So like it fucked up my stomach. So I couldn't eat. So then when I quit taking that to pass the drug test to get into the military, I gained weight because I was now like, my body let me eat.
Wait. So, Adderall 20 milligrams 3 times a day?
I don't remember. I don't think it was Adderall. It was like a generic brand of something.
Okay. I remember same.
Yeah. That's probably why we get along. But so I remember I quit taking that to pass the drug test for the military. I came back, I gained 40 pounds in 3 months living with my grandmother, and she just kept feeding me. I was drinking like a gallon of sweet tea a day. I was eating Gold Star chili 3 times a week and whatever she made me, bro.
I'm picturing grandma's boy.
Yeah, my grandma freaking loves me, bro.
Just you coming in at night, just stoned.
Yeah, she's just like, you want to eat? You want to eat? You want to eat? And I'm like, yeah. everything she made was amazing. My friend John always gives me crap. He's like, yeah, you think your grandma makes the best everything. Well, she does. Okay.
So when you put that weight on, did you keep that? Is that what made, were you lifting
No,
weights?
this is before I even lifted weights.
So there was a fat Slank at one point in time.
There was a chunky 225 Slankerton. Yes.
Wow.
And then my buddy Kevin Nisley, I lived with my grandma at the time, and my buddy Kevin Nisley lived about 8 houses down, and we went to school together since the 3rd grade. And he was into natural bodybuilding. His dad lifted weights. He was reading all the magazines and stuff, and he went to the gym with me in like the winter of 2008.
Okay.
And like a few months after we started training, went to a bodybuilding show in Columbus. It was called the Buckeye Classic. It was their first show they had. And I remember it was on the same day Matt Stafford got the 1st round draft pick to the Detroit Lions.
Okay. Okay.
And it was that day that he got drafted. He was like #1 overall pick, and went to this bodybuilding show. And I remember we had Firehouse subs for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, I think you should do this bodybuilding show. You should do a bodybuilding show." And I was like, "Okay." And so like a year and a half later, I did my first bodybuilding show in 2010 in Youngstown, Ohio, and I won the heavyweight novice class.
Okay.
Like 7 or 8 people. And then since I did that, and then a week later I did a Dave Lieberman show up in Cleveland. I got like 10th out of 18. That's when you could take pro hormones in those shows.
Yep. Natural classic, but it's
so I got freaking waxed in that. And then I did a show called the Ohio Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I ended up winning the novice heavyweight in that. I got 2nd in the light heavyweights, and I won the junior men, which was 23 and under.
Okay, so I got to ask the question then. Knowing what we know now about bodybuilding, was this a natural Seth shot?
Yeah, I competed naturally for a couple years. I did several shows before I started taking anything.
Okay, what weight were you getting on stage at back then?
180, 186 pounds.
And you're 6'3"?
6'2".
6'2"?
Yeah.
Wow. So how many IFBB pros are taller than you?
Not many. I'm probably one of the tallest.
What's the one guy? I'm blanking on his name. Milos coach.
I don't remember his name.
Something like the giant.
Yeah, he's like 6'5" or something. 6'6". He's freaking a monster. Yeah. But I think like Zach Merkel is probably the same height as me. We competed against each other in 2016 and 2017, and then he actually beat me for the first time last year at the Chicago Pro. It was my probably worst showing ever. So I was really disappointed in myself that I let people that I beat as an amateur beat me as a professional. So I wasn't too happy about
it. So you did just cover a massive gap in time. You went from it's fine. You know, how many ADD kids does it take to screw in a light bulb? You want to ride a bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, girl.
Okay. So what year was that? So you're talking 2008, you start lifting weight seriously as a bodybuilder.
So the end of 2008, I started lifting weights for like a couple months. And then 2009 in February was that first bodybuilding show I attended. And then 2010 September actually was the same day as the Mr. Olympia contest. I'll never forget that. So I was like, I competed the same day as the Olympians. I thought that was cool, even though I was like doing an amateur.
What year was that?
I think it was like September 25th, 2010 was my first show.
That was Jay. That was Jay's year still then, right?
2010. Yeah. I remember buying the Jay Cutler Mass Stack, bro, the Cell Tech, the Nitro Tech, and the freaking all that stuff. And I couldn't even take pills then, dude, because they like make me choke. But I wanted to get huge, and I wanted to take those creac pills. And
okay,
all that
so
stuff,
that's what I gotta ask. That's what I gotta ask.
Pills.
So, 2008, you're a natural bodybuilder. 2010, you're still a natural bodybuilder, but you're seeing. I remember 2010 because that's the year I graduated high school, and it was before the Instagram era. And you still had muscular development, muscle show. You had all the magazines, and it was back when Kai Green was with Carnivore. I think it was wearing the red
stuff. Meds, yeah.
And I mean, back when that was the heyday to me as a 30-year-old now. So how did you go from being the natural kid to a supplement company owner, for one, part one of the question, and two, being somebody that ended up putting on all in almost 100 pounds in your bodybuilding career?
Yeah, almost. I put on The lightest I weighed at a show was 180 in 2012. And last year I competed at 270.
Okay, so we're talking 90 pounds of stage weight.
Yeah, in a
That's
decade.
muscle.
In a decade, yeah.
Wow. So it's safe to say that across a decade, you average roughly 9 pounds a year. So you're good for 3/4 of a pound of muscle growth a month across a 10-year span.
Yeah, if I'm consistent, yeah.
Do you ever, so now I got to ask, with that last showing, which I think you placed where you should have placed, but I think that your physique, I don't think it's anywhere near what you could max out yet. And I don't mean that in regards to poundage. I do mean it in regards to, I think you got a great, I think you could have kept going. I think you keep going. Where do you stand when you hear that?
I definitely think I can keep going. It's just I keep getting, like, life just gets in the way, bro. Like, I get stressed out from either women, or I get, my neck injury with my pinched nerve. It's always something that takes me off track. And if I could just eliminate women from the equation, I could be the freaking man.
So on that note, what are you doing later tonight?
Nothing. I'm staying now. I'm staying home.
So that is something that I do have to ask, because anybody that follows you on social media, they see the women come and go. Yeah. And a lot of us, we see the big, strong bodybuilder out in Vegas and we're like, well, it seems like everyone's getting slanked. From the horse's mouth. From the horse's mouth. What's going on? So where the love life with the slank? What's going on?
Oh, I just think I picked the bad ones, bro. I think just ones that either are not ready or ones I should have no business dealing with. I think that's my issue.
Now, would you say that that's what you find now? Because what I've found is guys like us,
yeah,
the loud, exciting, generally the center of attention in a room, we generally attract the batshit crazies. Yeah. Would you say that's about maybe?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Or just ones that are just emotionally unavailable are the ones I usually attract for whatever reason.
But that's fair. But so you have shifted though. You are somebody that's always moving forward. It's not like you've allowed bodybuilding to become your identity. You have this whole identity of your own that in today's day and age with social media and short clip films, you've been able to create this hilarious persona, this social media personality with the pit vipers in the TikTok videos. Where does that?
I got him.
Where does that inspiration and motivation come from? Because at no point in this history of you have I heard anything about you being a performer, but that's something that you just do so well.
Bro, I just have a really outgoing personality. I love that's why I had them all. I love the 80s rock. Def Leppard's my shit. I love Hulk Hogan. I love Ric Flair. I love all that early 90s wrestling stuff. And I feel like I just kind of combine it all together with who I am, and that's the Slank, baby.
So and that's why to me, I was attracted to the brand. I was attracted to once I actually looked at the ingredients and the supplements, I was like, this isn't bullshit. I said, this is some really, really serious products that, as somebody that owns a supplement website, I said, oh, I need to get my hands on this, because this is something that I want to use. Because for me, I've always said, and one of the things on my site I say is we strive to provide the best. And when I saw your formulas, I said, that pump formula, and then obviously a lot of the others, I said that's the best in my opinion. So give me the background on Slankomania. What chose you to do that? Because your focus has shifted, I guess, not a little away from bodybuilding, but you've been balls to the wall with your brand.
Yeah, I've been really trying to grow the brand. So how it all started was, as you're competing and stuff, people reach out to you and social media. They want you to promote their stuff. After I won North Americans, I had High Tech reach out to me and they wanted to give me $250 worth of supplements a month and a discount code. And I'm like, Well, Ed Connors told me I'm worth more than that. So I'm not taking your $250 of supplements a month and your discount code. I worked Barthel Fitness, that he was a YouTube person. I don't know if he still does anymore, but he reached out to me years ago and he sent me a bunch of stuff that never came through. I've had Man Sports reach out to me. I've had Steel Supplements reach out to me, and no one wants to give me any money. So I started talking to Jay Cutler. When I moved here, I kind of met him and talked to him a little bit. I haven't spoken to him in a little bit, but he kind of gave me some directions. He had me over at his little warehouse there at the Atomics place, and he said, well, no one else can sell these products better than you. So if people are going to, if people are interested in you selling their brand, you might as well sell your own. So that put a little thing in my head. So I reached out to Paul Callahan from Bullfrog Nutrition out there in Ohio, and he had me meet Caleb. He had me meet Brad and a few other people at this at the Olympia in 2019 Olympia, or no, 2020 Olympia, I believe it was.
Oh,
and
I'm surprised I didn't see you.
You might have. I was there. But yes, we all stayed in this little Airbnb and we made some connections, and I dropped we just called it the Huge and Cute pre-workout. We had pink lemonade flavor, so it was similar to the non-stim, and it had like 100 milligrams of caffeine, because I want this to be like something I could take, and I can't take super high stims with like a bunch of stuff in it because it upsets my stomach. So I wanted something that was a little bit stimulant and some pump stuff, and I really liked it. But then I was like, okay, well, how can we make this product better? So my friend Brad he owns Dynamic Evolution, and he helped me formulate the Get Slanked, because he knows what's selling in the stores, he knows what's good products, all this stuff. So we came together and we made this product, and then so on and so forth. We came out with the test booster, the fat burner, the protein powder, and then we just dropped the high stem this week. We just need to put the labels on the product and it's good to go.
Wow. I think that's awesome. And one of the things to me, as having a background in the supplement industry and having worked with brands before that didn't always have the store's best interest in mind, they had the bigger picture of the brand in mind. What I really, really value and respect about Slankomania is you're not selling on Amazon. You're very adamant about not selling on Amazon. You're very
I've had several people reach out to me and say you should put them on Amazon, more people can buy it, blah blah blah. But I want to build a relationship with stores. So we're in a handful of stores. And Caleb carries this at the Arsenal Subs. We have Luchador Barbell out in California. We have Reps Gym up in Oregon. Paul, I think, still has some of our stuff. I did some stuff. We have a couple stores with Andy. We have Lacrosse around that college campus. We have Madison West and East at Subs, and we're on subs.com. We're on your Bad Dude website, and I think Caleb's putting us on the Arsenal Subs website as well. And then we also have this, the Slankomania website.
And the reason I think that is so important for a lot of people to hear, and I say this all the time, if you were, hypothetically, you could go on Amazon right now, and let's just say the money got put behind it and you started making this crazy amount of money, but that could just stop just like that. Right. When the next new whatever comes out. And right. I say all the time, I say the second you can build a relationship with a store owner and have that business relationship, and these are when you're a supplement company owner dealing with store owners, that's both your livelihoods. You're working together. And I say it all the time, if you can become 5 to maybe 7% even, and that's a lot of somebody else's monthly revenue, you're going to be safe. I joke about it all the time. Could you imagine going to take a piss and your dick was 7% smaller? You would notice that right away.
For sure. You're right. And you would notice
that. Exactly. And on that same token, if you're able to put another 7% on and you notice your dick 7% bigger, because I say it all the time, when it comes to the brick and mortar stores, they need all the help they can get. And not that these people are helpless by any means. But the value of somebody like Andy, I said it all the time. I think the only person that could probably sell your brand better than you would be a guy like Andy.
Yeah, he's the man, bro. Yeah.
because now you have these individual pillars in their communities that people
Yeah.
come to for advice, and now you have this direct connection to the company's owner, who's the pro bodybuilder, that you know where he made his product. It's just it really works out well for everybody, and you don't see, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, you're in the same conversation as a supplement company owner. Obviously, you know, you're in the beginning years, but you're in the same conversation as the Seth Feroci's, as the Fuads, as, I mean, the list goes on. There's, you know, Jay Cutler,
Right.
and all highly, highly respected individuals who, I mean, I say it all the time. Jay was probably the best Mr. Olympia for the sport of bodybuilding ever.
Yeah, he's if you know, if we always have to mention Arnold, because if it wasn't for Arnold, we wouldn't really have bodybuilding. Just like we got to mention Hulk Hogan, we talk about wrestling, because if you don't have Hulk Hogan, you don't have wrestling. You have Vince McMahon, but I feel like Hulk Hogan is what made not bodybuilding,
Yeah,
made
you know,
wrestling, you know what I
100%.
mean?
And you
But
saying
yeah,
that, though, well, I was gonna say, just you saying that though, it just, to me, it ties that look to the brand, that just that gung-ho American, 11 years in the Air Force, supporting the small businesses in Nebraska and Wisconsin. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
just it just makes so much more to the brand than the supplements. And I've noticed a lot of people over the past few years really trying to build these brands and get people to rally behind it. And not for nothing, but they're posers. And I don't say that, I'm not taking a shot at anybody. I don't mean anything like that. But the fact is, I served, you served,
Right.
and a lot of everybody else is throwing flags on their sleeve. And, you know, they're all these hard dudes. And they were doing party drugs and steroids in the time while we were serving. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you know, so we just have, you know, what you have, that level of authenticity.
Yeah.
I love it. So I got to say, how do you make this fit in with the school of bodybuilding?
So yeah, so the School of Bodybuilding is an educational platform where you can post your training and you can ask questions regarding PEDs, training, nutrition, you know, mobility stuff, whatever. And I'm there to try to answer those questions the best way possible. We also want to build like a cool community of just like-minded people. We can do giveaways for you guys. We can give out free stuff. We can do contests, whatever. And eventually, when it gets big enough, it'd be cool to have like a once a year meetup with all the community, and along with like my online clients and everything. So I just want to build like a cool community of like-minded people that just want to get huge and cute, baby. You already know what it is.
So, okay. So when people ask me about Bad Dude, I say to them, I say, if you took bodybuilding.com, a little bit of GovX, maybe like a dash of Grunt Style, and the eBay, not eBay, sorry, Amazon, you know what I mean? Because the platform,
Yeah.
that's kind of like maybe what I'm trying to turn this into. Where do you draw inspiration from, brand wise, and what do you see, you know, Slankomania with the Slank School of Bodybuilding, your career, where do you see this going in 5 years and then in 10 years?
I don't think I don't want to compare my brand to anybody else. I feel like it's just like this brand's like kind of like all about me. I don't want to say I'm like, you know, Fuad or all these guys. Like, bro, like my name's on every product besides the Get Peeled, I think. Like it's Get Slanked, it's Slank, like we got Slankalicious, you know what I mean? Slank it up your test booster. Like it's just like fun in your face. Like I like to have, maybe people don't take it seriously, but like I just think it's fun and it's funny, bro. Like get slanked. You know, it could be many things. You know what I
No,
mean? Get jacked, you know what I mean?
100%.
But yeah, I just like I just want to grow everything as big as possible, help all these people. And that's just what it's about, just like having fun and getting in shape. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So
But so how do you take that though? And like I said, like when I look at the formulas, when I look at the products, you have this whole other serious component to it. This whole other, like, this you live in this norm where all these things that, you know, it's like, yeah, bro, obviously, you know, obviously I'm going to do my fasted cardio with my L-carnitine, with my little bit of caffeine, with my Yohimbe, with my this, you know what I mean? Or, you know, for the next level people, you know, that's when I'm going to take my 40 micrograms of clan, like my this, my that, because you've
yeah,
been doing that. Like we said, you put on 90 pounds of stage weight muscle in a 10-year time frame. I would say there is not more than 30 to 50 people on the planet right now that can say they've done that. Maybe I'm widely mistaken when I say that. But I mean, as an adult, putting on 90 pounds of gross stage weight, lean muscle tissue. So you have these two worlds going on. How do they collide?
Yeah. So yeah, I can attribute most of my progress probably to me just being consistent with eating for an entire decade, bro. Like I didn't do anything besides eat, work out, watch TV. I didn't go on vacations. I remember, when I was married, I didn't even go on a honeymoon because I didn't want to miss meals. And that sounds ridiculous.
No. I saw Phil Viz put up a post today, and he was like, one missed meal. And it was like, a week is 2,600 calories a year. Like he did the breakdown across 10 years, what one missed meal like a week is.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not that dedicated.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like when Jay Cutler says, yeah, I lived in a box. Like when I look back at it, like, yeah, like I probably made my ex-wife upset by a lot of things that I did, but bro, all I wanted to do was freaking win, bro. And, it took me 7 years to go from natty bodybuilder to winning the North Americans. And like, all I cared about was eating all those meals every day, doing the cardio, training, and that was it, bro.
So two-part question, because you went pro as, I'm assuming, a super heavyweight, right?
Yeah, I was 251.
At what show was this?
I won the 2017 North Americans overall.
Where is North Americans again?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, because I've been to nationals, junior nationals. I've been to all those. Nationals in Miami for years. Got to watch Hunter Labrada turn pro.
Yeah, I was there and he won. Yeah.
Sean Smith won that night. I don't care what you tell me. That was.
What's crazy, bro? Sean Smith was the favorite to win North Americans when I won that show. He got 6th or something like that.
Really? I was really a big fan of his until I saw him in real life. And I don't mean that as any knock on him. I've just been very blessed to meet a lot of really impressive bodybuilders, like in their prime, like, Steve Kuklo, Kai Green, like, and he was not on that level by any means. No knock on him. Guy's an absolute freak show, and possibly one of the strongest bodybuilders I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's freaky. He has freaky muscle, dude.
Freaky muscle.
He's huge.
So
he's huge.
How do you feel about all these people nowadays that are just getting pro cards left and right? I saw a guy come in second place in classic physique at a national show, and he got his pro card, right? And then he placed second in men's physique later on that night. And since he already had a pro card, they gave a pro card to the third place guy because it was nationals. So how does that make you feel as somebody at your height that's never had the opportunity to ever compete? And you would not have been able to even look like a bodybuilder and make your weight because of your frame, and you don't have small bones.
Right.
How do you feel about these people getting pro cards?
To me, I feel like it's just a way for the IFBB to make more money at the end of the day, because pro cards are $250 a year you have to pay. So if you're giving out 100 at, Masters Nationals, do 100 times $250. Now you just made that extra in a month. You see what I'm saying? I feel like bodybuilding, I mean, I've been knocked on by a few different people saying, oh, North Americans is not prestigious, blah, blah, blah. Winning the Nationals is more prestigious. Well, if you think about it, when you win the North Americans, okay, it's only the top 3 in the overall.
Yes.
In the overall.
Whereas as Nationals, it's the top of 2 of every class.
At every class.
And it's
and then so winner,
heavyweight. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then at USA's, it's the class winner, or it's the class winner in each class. So you're telling me that I had to beat I didn't have to beat everybody just to turn pro. I had to, in the North Americans, you have to make it to the overall, then you have to place top 3. Well, I won the whole thing. So you can't take that away from me, bro. You know what I mean? I won the whole show.
You won that show.
Yeah, there was like 30 guys in my class.
What's the biggest name now that you beat?
The biggest name that I beat John De La Rosa one time. I beat John De La Rosa one time. He came in really bad. It was my pro debut, and I think he got like almost second to last place. So it was not good.
That was right before he took some time off and then came back, and then he just killed it. Remember when he won in New York?
Yeah.
No, he
did really bad. Yeah, he did really good, and then he had like a period where he did bad and then he did really, really good again. So, but yeah, my showings haven't been that great, as a pro. I just keep messing things up the last couple days. So
It happens. It happens. I will say this, that watching John De La Rosa get second place at the New York Pro, and I think it was either 2000, yeah, I think it was like 2019. It was the show that he came in before he won in Puerto Rico after, right? That was the first time I'd ever witnessed a bullshit professional showing.
yeah.
And right then and there, I kind of gave up on looking at placings and looking at those things. And a funny story for you. So after that show, it was a few weeks later, I was in Chicago for junior nationals, and I run into Tyler Mannion at a bar at one of Mel Chancey's bars after. And I always said I was never going to tell this story out loud, but I feel like of all times, this is the place to tell the story.
Okay.
I walk over to him and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And I'm with my buddy Dave, Dave Coppell, old buddy of mine. And fucking Tyler looks at us, he's like, "Oh, you're Aaron's guy." So it's for Aaron Singerman. And we're like, "Yeah, that's us," And we were known around for, being a little bit of like the party guys, if you know what I'm saying. Having a good time. Everybody knows that I used to just love doing ecstasy. That was my thing. Is I would just be like, everyone else is drinking, and I'm just. So I go to Tyler, and I say to him, I was like, "Hey man, so first show that he ever head judged, I said, look, man, I was there that night. You guys had it wrong." And he looked at me.
Wrong. Yeah.
You know me, bro. You know me. I got look. We can argue all day about bodybuilding, and I can hold my own with the best of them. And
Right.
I said, "Man, you got it wrong." And he looked at me and he said, "That's not how my card had it, man. Politics still run deep." Because who do you think won that show in New York? Who do you think won the show?
Well, there's only a couple guys that usually the guys from New York win those shows.
Oh,
What was it like Juan or something?
It was Juan. It was Juan Morel. And it was funny because before the night show started, I see Steve Weinberger walking one way, and I see Juan walking the other way. Bev's Powerhouse on his hat, right? And I just see him dap each other up. And I'm just like, if I could have just screenshot this moment, like, because as a fan of bodybuilding, you know what I mean? Like, I got launched into the whole industry of like, oh, hey, like now you're going to these pro shows all the time. Like, you're just going to be around this. And I was like, this whole thing is fucking rigged. This whole goddamn thing is fucking rigged. And I always pronounce his name wrong, Federo Cambrero, who got second place in classic physique that night to what's that black kid? Real short, real big though. I think he's a 212 guy now. Used to be classic. He was a black abs athlete.
Keon guy, is it the Keon?
Keon. Keon beat him in the show. So Keon beats him in the show. And Alex Nombrero comes off and he's cursing up and down. He's like, "I need to get with Aaron. I need to get with Redcon. I keep losing these shows because I don't have a sponsor." And it was me and I can't remember the guy's name. He was sponsored by Redcon. I think he came in third in that show. We're like, "Dude, you need to shut the fuck up." The Manions are walking by. He's like, "I need a sponsor so I can win the shows." And I'm just like laughing and just watching this whole thing. And I'm like, I only care about supplements and helping people at this point. Fuck it. Fuck the sport.
I don't really watch the sport anymore. I just like I like to look like a bodybuilder.
You like to be huge and cute.
I love to be huge and cute, and that's what I'm trying to get everybody else.
Okay. So we are at the 4-minute warning. What are the last things you want to say? Where can we find you? How do we get in touch with you? How do we buy your supplements? How do we buy your training?
If you don't know by now, it's the Big Slank on Instagram. And I had a pretty big TikTok page. That one got deleted. So we're at Big Slank Fit on TikTok. You want to, snag in the supplements, we're on slankandmania.com. You can check out subs.com, baddude.com or baddudeco.com. And then, the stores in Madison, Wisconsin, this Madison Subs West and East and the La Crosse store. And then the Arsenal out in Kansas, my boy Caleb over there.
What about if people want to get in touch for wholesale orders for store owners?
Yeah, you can just email, slankmania31@gmail.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you. We can do it that way. For coaching, it's just SethShaw31@gmail. And I have a new fitness app that's coming out and it's pretty freaking cool. And we're going to bundle sups and training and nutrition all together for you guys. So if anybody's interested in that, the link will be in my Instagram bio. It will say like Slank Army Coaching or something like that. I haven't put it in there yet, but because it hasn't dropped. So once it drops, it'll be cool. You guys will be able to pick 2 supplements per month and all your nutrition and training will be taken care of. So especially we're going to be a pretty cool deal.
That's actually pretty awesome. I think we're definitely going to link that through onto my site as well. I want everybody to have access to that, as I think it would be beneficial for anybody for whatever their goals are, whether it's losing weight, because that's the one thing I guess Seth did not bring up is lifestyle coaching. That's really his thing. He is not a bodybuilder coach. He much prefers helping people that are challenged with time in their life. If you have, meaning you got kids, you got a 9-to-5 job, whatever the case may be, the ability to get access to a mind like his is going to really be able to expedite you getting to your goals, and you're going to learn a whole goddamn lot. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I train bodybuilders, but most of the time I train just like lifestyle clients, like overweight people want to get in shape. Somebody wants to get in shape for an event. Somebody just wants to get huge, like whatever. I do some bodybuilding preps, but I really prefer just lifestyle clients. People just want to make a change in a better lifestyle. I'll do the preps, but it's not my top priority. I'd rather just work with normal people that just want to get in shape.
I love how you say that, normal people. You're like, I just don't want to deal with batshit crazy bikini chicks. Like,
they're just a lot of stress, man. And I just like normal people that want to get in shape.
Now, with that said, now if you have 1 minute to answer this. And if someone that you saw potential in, that you saw that had the genetics, that had the drive, that had the work ethic, that had the stability in their life to be able to allow them to pursue it, would you take somebody on? Would you take on that big task? Like, because I could see you in the league of the guys of the Phil visits and of that stuff.
Yeah, if they want to be dedicated, and they again, this costs a lot of money to do this sport. So if you're financially there to be able to afford all the stuff, there's a lot of things that go into bodybuilding, from the drugs to the training to the posing trunks to the entry fees to the travel to the hotels. Like, it costs you thousands of dollars to do a bodybuilding show. This is no joke. So if you don't have your finances straight, this sport may not be for you. Like, you have to have a lot of things in place for you to be a pretty good bodybuilder.
Absolutely. So on that, I will end it, brother. Thank you. This was awesome. We have to do it again sometime. And boom.